Hello, welcome to another edition of Chits and Cats. I've got two packages that I need to open today. They've been sitting downstairs for almost all week, but I've been, really good. I didn't have time really to make a video, so I decided not to open them just yet. So I know what is in them, but I don't know which one is which. So we will see what we've got here. This is exciting. Okay, now this one is for my friend Kevin, because he was playing it and I got so fascinated by it that I decided to get it too. And it is Rosbach Avenged. This is my first Napoleonic game. When I was watching Hipshot's videos, I really liked the map. It just looked lovely. It looked like somebody had been drawing it, like by hand. It didn't look printed at all. And I also thought that the way the system works, with the command structure and everything, was really something that I hadn't played before. I've also never played Napoleonics, so I thought, okay, well, this sounds interesting. I read a couple of things on BBG. But of course, reading stuff on BBG is never the same as seeing somebody actually play it and walk through it and give their own opinion about it. So this one is something that I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully I'll enjoy just as much as Hipshot did. And then, now I know of course what's in the other one, because there were 3 in the mail. One I've already unpacked. So this one is also an era and of course a region that I've never played in before, because usually I play Europe. This one is something that I got because I came across Rocking Horse Dreams channel, and he did a really great series, I think of 6 videos, 6 videos on a game set in, oh god, this is wrapped well, in Indochina, in the Indo-Chinese War, and God, how does this open even? And it is, if I ever get to unwrap it, this is like Christmas, only more complicated. It's a game that I think is out of print at the moment, because I couldn't get a new copy of it. I only managed to get I got it second hand from a user on Board Game Geek, like I did actually Rosbach Avenged as well, and 2 users in Germany. This one is again from Paco Holiday. I've mentioned his name a couple of times before. Like I said, he has a huge amount of games that he sells, and this one is from Nikator, also BGG, excellent person to buy from, prompt service, nice interaction, can only recommend them. So this one is So this is published by Legion Wargames. It was published in 2011. It's basically the war fought in Tonkin. So that's north west of Laos. It's the first Indochina war. It's already been punched, so this is really second hand, but they've actually put them into little baggies, which is good. You've got the maps. You've got the player aid cards. And the battle board, everything that you need, and something that I always appreciate when people send it with it, counter scans. I usually make them myself as well, but it's a bit difficult if something has already been punched. But this is a great help if you need a counter or something. So this is the game, but there was also something else in the box which I don't know what it really is, but let's take a look. It's this is a printed version of the rules that somebody made for their own use, so they colored it, which is quite nice. And also, wow, now this is really cool, laminated copies of the player aids. I mean, this is great. So you can see that this game has been played because there are notes here in the margin. Saigon, no stacking limit 3.7. But this is really great. So somebody really played this game. They obviously loved this game, and then they sold it on. I mean, this is great, and they gave me all their goodies. So thank you very much, Nikato. Very much appreciated that I also get these goodies. So I'm actually going to take this one and read it. Thank you very much. So there is also Legion. After I'd watched the review as well by Rocking Horse Dreams, I went onto the website of Legion Wargames, and they have a game. They've got plenty of games, but there's one that they have on pre-order. I forget its name now, but it's actually the invasion of Zululand by the British Army in the 19th century, which is something that I'd been reading about in The Washing of the Spears, a book that I referred to earlier, which I got because I really am into this whole story around Rorke's Drift. And of course, I bought Zulus on the Ramparts, which I still haven't played, but I'm going on holiday in September for a week, and I'm going to take it with me because it's a small game, it's a solo game, you don't need much room, so I'm going to play it then. But it's basically a strategic solo game that simulates the invasion of the Zulu lands by the British, something that basically came before Rorke's Drift that we all know about. And I was reading about it in the Washing of the Spears, and this really gave me a lot of insight into operational issues during warfare. I mean, you know, when you start out like I did with playing tactical war games, things like baggage trains, supply lines, lines of communication back to headquarters isn't that much of an issue. The only thing that can happen is that you're without a leader because, you know, you're out of range of the leader, but then even then, you know, the units can retreat or the leader can move towards them. But if you're out of supply somewhere, you know, in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by foes, that's much different. And I really got a lot of insight into the issues that the British faced, you know, due to the climate, due to the weather, and so on and so forth. And I thought, this is great, this is really interesting. I wish there was a game around this. And lo and behold, apparently they're producing one, so I pre-ordered it. Hopefully, I don't know, I mean, it's not like the P500 on GMT games, where you can see how many people have pre-ordered it and how many pre-orders it takes for it to go actually into production. I have no idea, but I've pre-ordered it, and hopefully one day I'll hold this game in my hands. Which brings me to my last point for today. GMT Games have put out another P500 title, and it's called Hoplite. It's the, I think, 15th title in the GBOH series. And I have no stake in this game, except for that I want it to be published as soon as possible. It's an Ancients game. It's, well, as the name says, Hoplite, so basically it's Greek warfare. And if you're interested in that, you should go to their website. You should do a pre-order. I think it's $47 per box in pre-order. And I think I checked last night. It was at 427. It'd gone up from 200 and something when I'd ordered it to 427 in about 24 hours. So hopefully this will make the cut soon. So if you're an Ancients fan, if you like GBOH, go for it. But be aware of one thing. Apparently the system is very different. I saw a video once of how the system works, and it's a chit pull system, which is very intriguing because it's very different from the normal GBOH system. But if you're into Ancients, if you like Greek warfare, if you're into hoplites, and if chit pulling doesn't really put you off at all, give this a chance. Go to GMT Games today and pre-order your copy so that we can maybe hold it in our hands by this time next year. So that's all from Chits and Cats, or Cats Encounters as Kevin calls it. You have probably been able to hear the cat outside, and they want to be let in so that they can play a little bit with my Gergovia setup. Also I said that I wasn't going to do a video on Gergovia, that I was just going to do a kind of like a wrap-up video. I lied. I've got so many things that I want to talk about from a strategic point of view with the setup. I've played the first turn, and now I'm planning on what I want to do next. I lied. There will be videos on Gergovia second setup. So if you're into Ancients, then check out my channel. They should be up probably around the next 3 days, because because today is Saturday and Monday is a bank holiday, so I've got 3 days off in a row. So I hope to finish Gergovia, and I'm going to make a series of small videos just basically around some tactical topics that I want to highlight. So until then, bye from Callisto.